Welcome, everybody, to take part in the iCON Chinese Health Forum. How's everybody doing? I'm Barbara Ho. First of all, I would like to do the acknowledge of land. We would like to acknowledge that iCON office is situated on the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. I would also like to acknowledge that you are joining us today from many places, near and far, and acknowledge the traditional owners and caretakers of those lands. I am the Chief Nurse Officer of iCON Chinese Health Forum, and I'm the MC of today. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the 2021 Virtual Chinese Health Forum. Take care of your health, Dementia 360. Give it a try, and later on, there will be different poll questions for everyone. And if you are joining us the first time, I would like to briefly introduce what iCON is all about. iCON is being initiated by UBC Digital Emergency Medicine. The main idea is to assist multicultural and indigenous citizens and patients and caregivers to optimize chronic disease prevention and self-management, and to provide reliable and relevant health information to citizens. We not only would like local citizens to take part, we would like to present such health information to further remote or even overseas people, so that we can work together to improve our health. And today, the topic is Take Care of Your Health, Dementia 360. Yesterday, actually, we already had held the first part. We tried to know what dementia was, what the symptoms were, what is early detection important, and what treatments could be offered. And today, we will look at, can diet prevent dementia? Food is very important to Chinese people, so this is something we can look at. And also, we look at the mental health of caregivers, because usually it is 24/7 taking care of dementia patients. So let us listen to the experts. Another thing is home safety. And also to learn what is community resources, what can we do to have planning, what are pre-arranged advanced planning, and there will be different experts who will be speaking on these topics to us. And we are going to have our third poll question. After listening to what Wendy had to share, so have you learned more about the safety needs for someone living with dementia? Okay, so most people would agree. I think these things are very practical tips. Very good. Thank you. So the next speaker would be, we are talking about food. So food, what role does it play in dementia? Some people would say, what kind of food is good? What kind of nutrition is good to help slow down dementia or even prevent dementia? And today we are very happy to have Jojo, the dietitian, to explain in detail nutritions that are good for our brain and whether it can be helpful towards dementia. So without further ado, so time to you, Jojo.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, iCON, for inviting me to share with you some information on nutrition. Now, with regarding to dementia or nutrition, we all know that we've heard that we are what we eat. In other words, we are actually what we take in. So talking about physical health and brain health, this is important. So research has found that, has confirmed that diet and brain health are very closely related. Now, one of the diets that have been researched a lot on, that has been researched a lot on, and which has been helpful in our brain health is what we call the Mediterranean diet pyramid. Now, I've said before that a few times that this diet, you shouldn't be too unfamiliar, because one of the researchers has observed 6,000 Americans, and their average age is about, median age is 68 years old, and they found out that this diet in their daily living, and they could delay the onset of dementia by 30%. So this is very important. That means that diet can help your brain health. And after you've read this, you may think that it's difficult, then you don't want to follow it. Actually, there's another encouraging result, which research has found that even if you don't follow it religiously, even if you marginally follow it, like you half-heartedly or half-baked, so you can still delay the onset of dementia by 18%. So this is also helpful. So why don't we just look at this, review this Mediterranean diet pyramid again to see if your dietary habits have improved or not. So Wendy said that exercises are important for our brain, and also we also want to share good foods and socialize with our families and with friends, and this will be also very helpful to our brain health. And another thing is for the pyramid, the top tier of the pyramid, you find that there's the frequencies in terms of daily intake. So all the foods that you should take every day include vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, cereals, and beans and lentils. And the top, the one above is that the kinds of foods that you should take at least once or twice. That means those are fish and seafood. And then there's up above that, there are foods that you should take weekly with moderate portions, like poultry, eggs, cheeses, and yogurts. And the ones that you should not take that often are meats and sugars. So in this pyramid, if you don't see them in this pyramid, then don't take it. So the most frequent ones are the ones at the very bottom. Also, water you should drink every day, and red wine is also within this guide. But if you are not a drinker already, you don't have to start drinking wines. But if you have a habit of drinking, then 1 to 2 glasses a day should be good enough. Some people may think, well, this may not be practical. I mean, you're talking about how many servings a day of what kind of foods. So they want some more specific guidelines. So I have come up with something that I can explain to you about. So every kind of health food, how many servings do we need a day? So Brain Health Food Guide, we don't have that in Chinese, unfortunately, but I can still explain to you the contents. So it's similar to the foods you just saw in the pyramid, and the methods of eating them are also similar. It's just that it gives you a very clear guideline on the portions, on the servings. So this is from a based in Toronto, which specifically deals with brain health research. So I will share with you a lot of those tips. And in this guideline, so you can also find it from the Alzheimer's disease website. And this company has done a lot of researches, different research projects to find out how foods affect brain health. For those who are over 50 years old, if you improve your dietary habits, you don't have to make it a point to say, oh, I have to eat this, I have to eat that. But just in general, if you eat more healthily, say if you usually don't eat enough vegetables, or usually eat out more often, then maybe eat out less and eat more healthy foods. And after 4 months, you will realize that your speed of reading and writing is actually gets 9 years younger. And after 4 months, you see that there's progress in your brain functions. And if you've done that for 4 years, of eating well for 4 years, they found out that they did not experience any memory loss. So those memory loss issues do not happen to these people. So dietary habits, healthy dietary habits are very important to the brain health, to your brain health. So this food guide tells you what you should eat every day. So it's the same thing: vegetables, lentils, beans, legumes, and all that. How much vegetables? 5 servings at least, okay, each day. Maybe you mix it with raw vegetables, and then you have 1.5 cups of cooked vegetables with some raw vegetables. Then you can try that. Or why do you have to eat so many vegetables, so much vegetables? The most important thing is the antioxidant. Why is it important? Because every day there's a lot of nutrients that go into our brain. So when your brain functions, it creates some elements. So we need these antioxidants to protect the healthy brain cells in order for them not to be damaged. So antioxidants are very important. So if you eat more vegetables, especially different vegetables, different colors, then you can produce different kinds of antioxidants. So you should eat more leafy vegetables or raw vegetables like gailan or choysum, and also cruciferous vegetables, which are helpful to your brain health, especially with some types of cancer. The chances of having some types of cancer can be reduced. For example, cauliflower, broccoli, and kale. Now, fruits, you should eat more fruits, 4 servings or more a day of fruits, a medium size or half cup of fruits, and because they have glucose in fruits, so you should choose proteins with more high fibers. And then there is berries. There's also blackberries, strawberries, all kinds of berries. So you should have at least 3 times of berries a week, and apples are good as well. So 4 servings or more a day of those fruits, because there are antioxidants in them, and then it's high in fiber, which is good for your intestines, and gives you a sense of full stomach satisfaction. In Spanish, they satisfies full stomach. So, how many servings a day? I can tell you now that at least once a day, and each time a quarter of a cup. So about 10 pieces. Optimistically, 4 times a week that you should eat walnuts. Why are walnuts important? Some people say walnuts are fatty. It's not good for my cholesterol. Is that a fact? No, it's not. Because yes, walnuts are high in fats, but it's also high in proteins, and it also contains fibers. So the nutrients are high, but you should not overeat walnuts because it's high in calories. And omega-3 oil is good for us because it's in the walnuts, and it's good for our eyes, good for our joints. Omega-3 oil are important. It's important for those, and beans and legumes are also important. These beans and legumes, maybe us Asians do not eat that much. However, beans and lentils are a type of healthy food because it's a vegetarian food. It doesn't have cholesterol. It's high in fiber. It's high in protein. It could be a meat substitute. So in the Mediterranean food pyramid, you see that we discourage having meats. So use beans and legumes as substitute. You can have twice a week of servings, each time half a cup. And some people say, well, beans and legumes make my stomach bloat. And what you do is you can soak them once, but overnight, and before you cook them. That way, you can get rid of the chances of bloating your stomach. Or you can soak them in water to dilute it. There are other things that can help you digest beans and legumes. So this is a good substitute, a vegetarian substitute. There are things like vegetarian meats, vegetarian chickens. They could be meat substitutes, but you have to know what their contents, what the ingredients are, because some meat substitutes are processed foods. They have lots of additives. Seafoods are also very healthy. So I suggest that you have 3 times of seafood a day, especially fatty fish, which are rich in omega-3 oil, which we can use in our body. So what kind of fish has that? Salmon, trout, sardine, all those fishes have high contents. So fish is also high in cholesterol. Actually, it shouldn't affect the cholesterol in your body. We don't want to absorb saturated fats from foods. And another suggestion is that you should take more high fiber foods, not white rice, not congee. You should eat brown rice or things like quinoa or barley. So those are whole grains that can be substituted for rice. Some people say, oh, it just fills up it's hard to digest in my stomach. But you don't have to change overnight. You can add some of those in your white rice, and then you can adjust your diet. So if you have most white rice and you add a bit of brown rice in your cooker, so it can already increase the fiber intake. So if you don't drink milk, for example, dairy products can be substituted by other things like, say, soy milk or some vegetable milk. And olive oil is something that we also promote because we found out that unsaturated fats are in olive oil, which is very useful in lower our bad cholesterol in our body. So I suggest that you use more olive oil when you cook, not extra virgin, but just all olive oil that you can use for cooking. But you don't burn your wok so red, so black before you do it. So after having suggested foods that you should take, so what are the supplementary foods you should take? Now, the ones on the left side should be good enough. So if you still have a stomach for more foods, I would suggest that less meats and less red meats, pork or processed meats, less of those. And every day, you only eat meats 1 meal a day. It doesn't mean that you take away meats entirely from the other 2 meats. You can still have proteins like fish or eggs or vegetarian proteins or butter or dairy products. Those are saturated fats which you should avoid. Also snacks you should avoid. So I hope that what I've said has given you some practical tips as to what you should take daily in terms of food. Now, so if someone who has dementia or someone suspects that he has dementia, then he forgets to even eat meals or doesn't have an appetite, the opposite, have too much of an appetite and keeps on eating. But most people just forget to eat, and they find it difficult to concentrate because when they eat, they do other things. So maybe their coordination skills are poor. Maybe they have problems swallowing, problem chewing. So if that happens, the most important thing is that still to make sure that the patient has sufficient intake of nutrients every day. So you should eat foods that are rich in nutrients. For example, when you cook vegetable, you probably don't use that much oil, but still use some oil so that there is intake of calories. Because if someone's appetite is lessened, you can still give them enough nutrients, condensed nutrients. And you should also call them to remind them to eat, remind them to drink water, and together you should eat. You should share a meal together, or share a meal socially, or even on WeChat or WhatsApp. You can have a meal together, so that they don't get distracted and have watch TV or something else when they have a meal. So there's a website that I want to recommend to you. This is a guide that was recommended by the Brain Food. This is in English, but you can click on the right side and you can change it to Chinese, and you can get a lot of good information in Chinese. And it's called Cognicity. So at this point in time, I would like to share with you other resources which you can find online. Well, thank you, Jojo.
And we thank all the audience to pay attention to our program and to listen to all the specialists giving a lot of information. I would like to acknowledge a few of our partners. I would like to thank BC Health Ministry because of their support. And therefore, our iCON has been in operation for 13 years, and this is our 14th year. A lot of gratitude to them. And this one, please go to BC Health Ministry and go to the booth. So there is one which is the guideline for seniors, and you can download for them Seniors Guide, and they are in English and in Chinese. Two different versions. So please go and take a look. And then another slide, please. And there are a lot of community partners like Success, which is very important, and Alzheimer's Society BC. We have a lot of support for them. Vancouver Coastal Health and Canadian Health Association, Canadian Health, British Columbia, and Villa Cathay, and Richmond Cares, Richmond Gifts, who is helping us. And there is a lot of media partners, Fairchild, Ming Pao, Sing Tao, Talent Vision, Fairchild Radio, South Vancouver Neighborhood House, Diversity, and IMC, and also Akawa Health Forum. And finally, I would like to give thanks to the Health exhibitors. So remember, these health exhibitors are on for 1 month, and you can go through the success. Alzheimer's Society, just like what I've said, the UBC Ministry of Health, family givers, RCRG. I would like to also say success and Alzheimer's Society. They are offering another forum, and then from our exhibition forum, you can find a poster. This is the one. So you can take up your phone and then take a shot of the QR code. If you're interested, I think there will be a lot of information to present to others. And finally, I would like to express our thanks to our guest speakers again. And you have been attracted by their excellent speeches. Dr. Tigerson Young, Wendy, our registered occupational therapist, Jojo Wang, registered dietitian, and Miranda Wang, community psychiatric nurse. And so the information is excellent and abundant. And we would like to thank Sea2Sky Christina and her team to organize this virtual forum. Thank you very much for their technical support. And there are a few interpreters. So when you listen to the Chinese or the Mandarin, so you can listen to Shiny Tang Susan Yao. For English is Josephine Soa and Benny Loy. And thank you for the enthusiastic interpretation. And thank you so much. And finally, I would like to thank iCON team. Actually, behind the scene, there is Susanna Ng, there is Joanne Rockwood, and Ring. They have been doing a lot and having a lot of support to us. And there are many other volunteers behind the scene giving us a lot of help. And finally, I would like to thank Barbara. You have seen her performance in the past 2 days. So not just those past 2 days, there was a lot done by her preparing for the forum. And the most important, I would like to thank all of you, audience, because when you come to this forum, it's because you take very important perspective at your own health and the health of your family. And we really do wish that we have helped you to know more about dementia. And we do hope that we are going to hold more workshops on different topics. And we know that there are a lot of questions regarding dementia. We are going to hold a specific workshop answering all those questions. So please go on to our website, keep track of our development, and then you will be notified if you have already registered. And for online, I have to say goodbye for the time being, but I know we are going to have a good time down the road, and we are going to use time to help yourself and help each other so that we can live a very vibrant life. Thank you. Bye.